Good evening. At this point, we're about to start up. Please grab your seats. We're going to start the music shortly, and students will start making their way to the front rows. At this time, please grab your seats. The music will be starting shortly. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Northside's Moving Up ceremony. Before we begin the celebration, I just need to take a minute for some housekeeping items. In the event of an emergency, please note the areas to exit that lead out to the parking lots or streets. Please also be sure to adjust any cell phones to vibrate or silent, or dare I say, off. Special thanks to our very supportive central office. Today we have Mr. Defendini, Superintendent of Schools. We thank Mr. Defendini for his unwavering support. And of course, I'd like to thank our very supportive Board of Education. Thank you. Present tonight, we have Arlene Sodi, Suzanne D'Amico, and Mike Goldberg. Thank you. So an event like this does not take place without the hard work and efforts of many. I want to extend a great big thank you to our very supportive PTA and our very supportive group of families. That's you guys. Give yourselves a hand. I'd be remiss if I did not extend the appreciation to our secretaries and aides who helped do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work to make today happen. Special thank you goes out to Mrs. Cantos and Mrs. Looney. I'd also like to thank the Howitt Middle School custodial team for hosting us this evening. Thank you for the setup, the breakdown, and all the work that goes into that. Thank you. And last but certainly not least for now, our wonderful tech support, the man in the tent himself in the back in the red shirt, Mr. Pritzker. Thank you very much. We make a lot of requests to that, guys, so thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite the following students to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Megan Visco, Sophia Roby, Alexa Giffone, and David Nieves Jr. Please come up to the stage. We got 1, 2, 3. At this time, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, girls. You guys can head down that rampway, down the rampway. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Thank you. You may be seated. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 61st Moving Up ceremony of Northside Elementary School. Before you today are 85 stellar 5th graders who are delighted to have you here with them, sharing in the wonderful celebration of success. I'd also like to welcome our principal, Mr. Fabraro, to his 7th Moving Up ceremony. So good evening, everybody. For anyone I have not met yet, my name is Chris Peterson. I'm the proud assistant principal here at Northside. Could we try something here tonight? Do we have an open-minded audience? I saw 3 people nod and everyone else go silent. Maybe I just can't hear you from back here. So it's one thing, and I promise it's really, really simple. Are we on board? Thank you, 17 people. For the next hour or so, I'm inviting every person in here to be present. There's probably a thing or 7 on your mind that's been bothering you or stressing you out leading into today. I want you to acknowledge it and let it go for now. It might be there later, it might not be. Your to-do list to get ready for tonight, guess what? You're going to have another one, followed by another one when you leave. So that too, I just want you to acknowledge it and say, see ya, at least for this next hour or so. Let's make a commitment together to be present. Can we give that a try? So Monday of this week, we enjoyed the senior walk. And every year I hear at least one of the graduates with a big smile on his or her face say, "We did it." For those seniors, those words mark the end of their K-12 journey here in Farmingdale. For our fifth graders moving up to middle school, "We did it" means that you've outgrown the kindergarten to fifth grade environment of Northside and you'll be moving on to middle school. You still have 5 more days. Behave yourselves. I want to apply those 3 words for our faculty, staff, and community because I truly believe it takes a village. We did it. I think it's safe to say the year has had some ups and downs. The important part is that we are together now. We stand together under this mostly sunny but really blustery sky and say that we did it. So Northside's graduating class of 2022, thank you. Your perseverance you have shown, one of Northside's keys to success, has been nothing short of inspirational. This particular graduating class holds a special place in my heart, and many of you might be thinking, all right, you probably say that every year. This year, when I had my first full year here as assistant principal here in Farmingdale, you guys were in what grade? Call it out, kids. You guys were kindergartners. So I truly got to see you guys for the entire year in kindergarten all the way through 5th grade. So now that some of you are as tall or taller than me, you need to leave immediately. I'd like to end with a quote from an unknown author. The quote reads, "At the end of the day, you can either focus on what's tearing you apart or on what's keeping you together." So students, families, colleagues, we got to this moment here tonight by sticking together. Let's keep this valuable lesson in mind as we support those students through Howitt and beyond. We did it. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Fabraro to the microphone.
Just want to give Dr. Peterson a big thank you. We put a lot of effort into tonight as well, so thank you to him. Here we are. We made it. Just want to take a minute, like Dr. Peterson said, to soak the moment in and just be here together tonight. Can all of our 5th graders please stand up? These 5th graders have been asked to endure challenges that just a few years ago we could have never imagined. With that being said, these same 5th graders overcame these challenges, and they did it with poise, grace, and courage. They did it by sticking together. They did it by using one of Northside's keys to success, perseverance. Let's not let this moment pass without everyone joining me in sharing a round of applause for Northside's brave class of 2022. Way to go, guys. 5th graders, you can be seated. If I can ask you all to think back to a little over 6 years ago when we started together at Northside, we were both probably feeling nervous, excited, and even a little bit unsure of what to expect. Over the course of our 6 years together, you learned how to read, write, and solve problems. You learned about history and science. You learned about our 5 keys to success. How important it is to be honest, how important it is to persevere, to be responsible, to be respectful, and to be kind. All the while, myself, your parents, guardians, and friends, we were the lucky ones. We were lucky because we got to watch you step by step each year turn into the amazing individuals that you are today. I personally feel lucky to have the past 6 years because aside from the daily gift of watching you all grow and develop as people, I want to thank you for the other gift that you've provided me with. And I consider it to be the greatest gift of all. I want to thank you for the relationship we've had these past 6 years. In return, I hope each and every one of you know that you own a piece of my heart and that I will always remember you and our special times together. You should all know that the Northside community is immeasurably proud of each and every one of you. Your time at Northside has left your teachers, your parents, your principals with memories that will always be with us. May your time ahead at middle school, high school, and college, yes, college, be as phenomenal as your time at Northside. Congratulations, Northside class of 22. I'd like to draw some much-deserved attention to Mrs. Coffin and anyone else who helped with the awards and yearbook distribution this morning. Students were truly pumped to receive them, so thank you again, and we had a delicious pancake breakfast together. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call upon Mrs. Fasciano to assist with our 5th grade song. Great job, great job. I know I speak for the 85 students here today when I say thank you. Thank you to our teachers, faculty, and staff for all the support they have given our students throughout their 6 years at Northside. Our grade 5 team here has given this group of students their heart and soul to help bridge the transition to Howitt Middle School, and of course, to send them off in style. Each year we say goodbye to people who have left a lasting impression on our hearts, and this year is no different. There are 3 people that we will say goodbye to as they are entering a new phase of their career: retirement. I'd like to acknowledge our retirees that are with us tonight. I'd like to call up Miss Robin Fruman. She can come on up. And Mrs. Dottie Cantos, who is probably upset with me right now. I had to pick between the country bouquet or the pretty in pink bouquet, so we went with pretty in pink, right? Congratulations to our retirees, Mrs. Fruman and Mrs. Cantos. We love you. One more round of applause. We also have one retiree who is not with us tonight, but she spent her career dedicating herself to our students at Northside. A big round of applause for Mrs. Turano. It is also a tradition here at Northside to have a 5th grade student address his or her class. Each 5th grader writes a reflection of his or her years at Northside, and one piece is collaboratively selected to represent the sentiments of the class. This year, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Matthew Zito, who will be delivering the 2022 farewell address. Come on up, Matthew.
Hello, parents, families, administrators, teachers, members of the Board of Education, and last but not least, the graduating class of 2022. I am Matthew Zito, and welcome to the 5th grade Moving Up ceremony. Today we celebrate the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. As I stand here before you today, I think about the past 6 years and how we all grown. We started as kindergartners, small and shy. When we first entered Northside, I still remember meeting my teacher for the first time and seeing the much taller kids. As we grew older, we learned new things and made new friends along the journey. And it wasn't long till we became the bigger kids and moved up to the 2nd floor. Each year, little by little, the younger kids became even smaller than the year before. But the journey doesn't end here, and once again, we will be the little kids who will again begin a new chapter with the much taller kids. However, our elementary school journey has been unique. When the pandemic started, Mr. Defendini announced that we would be staying home for 2 days, but that 2 days became 2 weeks, then 2 months. Just when we thought we would be returning to school, the 2 months became the rest of the year. Quickly, we had to learn to adjust to this new way of life, and Cami and Flipgrid became our new way of learning. Online learning was a challenge, and we all experienced technical issues. And although it was fun to play around with the backgrounds, it lagged everything. However, we learned to adapt and became more independent learners. This lesson taught us that life doesn't always go planned, and sometimes you need to be flexible when something happens that is unexpected. During our years at Northside, we have all grown in many ways. We have learned many things, from how to add and subtract to long division and fractions. We learned about famous explorers, people who made a difference in the world, and important events that happened. We learned how to read, write, and how to answer questions in hundreds of post-it books. I hope you can remember all the fun times we had and many field trips we went on over the years. Most recently is when we went to Citi Field and saw the Mets play the Washington Nationals. We learned about weather with Mr. G, and some of us were lucky enough to catch a shirt. There are also many funny memories to go along with the fun times. One memory that stands out is when we watched Mr. Brown and Dr. Peterson get pied in the face by the teachers. That was definitely fun to watch. Most of all, I hope we will all remember the friends we made at Northside. I know we will be meeting many new people next year, so is my wish for all of us in our future. My wish for the future is to get to class on time, to have nice teachers, and that we all happy and successful. Thank you, parents, families, administrators, teachers, members of the Board of Education, and the graduating class of 2022 for coming to the 5th grade moving up ceremony. And to everyone, congratulations.
Great job, Matt. Great job. Thank you, Matthew. Really impressive. Takes a lot of courage to stand up and speak in public like that. Way to go, Matthew. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Defendini and Dr. Peterson up to the podium. And if we can form our handshake line with our Board of Ed members and our teachers right here on the way up to the podium, that would be fantastic. We're going to start with our moving up certificates.
All right, so just a couple of directions as we transition. So students, anyone that is coming up when we announce your class, you're going to go on this side of the stage. We're going to go up the stairs and down the ramp. So students, when your class is invited up, we go up the stairs, down the ramp. We go up the, and then we go down the, you guys are ready. At this time, I'd like to invite Miss Bates to the microphone. Miss Bates's class, please stand. And you guys may approach the stairs. Yep.
Should I start? I'm good. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start by announcing Miss Bates' class. Giovanna Agrillo. Anthony Agrillo. Yusuf Ali. Charlie Bruzizi. Isabella Casara. Jake DiPaolo. Alexandra Flanagan. Michaela Frederick. Penelope Go. Alex Hernandez. Mason Karimi. Jake Kudrick. John McNamara. Jack Orenzo. Kiara Padilla. Mia Romano. Maxwell Stein. Megan Visco. Amelia Williams. Thank you, everybody.
Let's give another hand for all the students in Miss Bates's class. At this time, I'd like to invite Mrs. Bonventre and Mrs. Fruman up to the microphone. Students in Mrs. Bonventre and Mrs. Fruman's class, at this time you may rise and approach the stage on the stair side.
Matthew Agostinaccio. Thomas Blazer. James Bruzzese. Peyton Bresky. Kenya Caceres Portillo. James Clear. Lily Cutter. Zachary Deitel. Aiden Frost. Alexa Jaffone. Madison Giddens.
Donna Hernandez. Jack Kafka. Owen Klein. Nicholas Kopak. Jordan Kudrick. Aaliyah Sabatella. Tyler Shurek. Savannah Stroud. Brady Sullivan. Kennedy Wilson. Thank you.
Let's give another hand for all the students in Mrs. Bonventre and Mrs. Fruman's class. At this time, I'd like to invite Miss Ventrone, filling in for Mrs. Kelly, to the stage. At this time, Miss Ventrone's class, please stand up You guys will come across the stage to come up by the stairs. You practiced the song, right?
Thank you. Yep. Really ask her for. I'll lose all the papers. Okay, now. Good. Okay. Sarah Arias. Sophia Arias Ochoa. Aaliyah Barton. Josue Batres. Michael Bodu. John Bruno. Nicholas Bukowski. Francesca Calabar. Christian D'Ambrosio. Sabrina Dennis. Allison Duran. Sukdeep Kaur. Khadijah Khan. Ryan Langus. Christopher Lyle. Carter Morrow. Kyle Rotbart. Johan Sanchez Cubas. Cole Unger. Thank you.
Is Cassidy next?
Yes, I'm going to loop them together. They're both going to come up. Let's give a hand for all the students in Mrs. Kelly Ventrone's class. All right, last but not least, I would like to invite Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Cassidy to the microphone. Those students may stand and please approach this side of the stage.
Who's going first? Just add the certificates. Fran's going first? Okay. So that's you, right?
Look at them. Look at them.
Anthony Araman. Carter Black. Kylie Carr. Enza Catanzarita. Carolyn Coffin. Mackenzie Fitzpatrick. Isabella Flaramond. Chris Fuentes. Isabella Jimenez. Cameron Kelly. Cyrus Khan. Kylan Murphy. Jordan Perez. Vincent Pomponio. Sophia Roby. Devin Shaw. Bailey Smith. Lillian Suckle. Deanna Thomas. Matthew Zito.
Christopher Donis. Elizabeth Garcia. Liliana Kubelbeck.
Let's give a hand to all the students in Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Cassidy's class. For the last time I'll say this, Northside's fifth graders, please stand. Northside's fifth graders, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and distinct honor to present to you for the first time Northside's graduating class of 2022. Students, please be sure to stay with the family members here with you today. Families, note the exits. Thank you all for participating in this memorable ceremony, and join me once again in applauding the class of 2022.